Hi, everyone. This is Norman Kochnick here from the Sydney Central, I'll call it. You can see the backdrop of the Taj Mahal there. I've been joined by none other than Sid Vishwanathan. He is joining us, and I appreciate. How are you, Siddharth?
Yeah, it's been hectic, Norman. The Olympics in particular, cricket has taken a real backseat at this point in time. But I think cricket will be back. I mean, we just
Very
have,
soon.
we just have another 10 days to go. So the expectations of a medal are pretty low at this point in time. We may win about 2 more. That's it. That's our most optimistic assessment, I may say.
Should I be smug now and say that we've won 15?
Of course. I mean, look, a sporting culture, if you have to look at it, Australia and the rest of the world are far, far, far ahead of India than anything else. I mean, there's no doubt.
But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, because you've got 1.5 billion people there, sporting mad. They love their soccer. They love their hockey. You know, it's.
But again, infrastructure and the culture. I mean, only Australia could have. I mean, it's been seesaw in swimming, if I have to look at it, right? Ian Thorpe dominated in the initial part before he was upstaged by Michael Phelps. Now you're having Ariadne Titmus, who's doing incredibly well. She's beaten Ledecky, of all people, Katie Ledecky. So that is the culture that you can incorporate in Australia, because that's how it is. Hi, Naresh.
Hello, Naresh.
Hi, Norman. Very good evening.
How are you, Naresh? It's good to see you. You know, it's funny. I think I've got my accountant has joined us in the. Maybe he's hinting about something tax-wise. I'm not sure. Okay, now we are waiting on Aparna, who was very forceful today to say that she wanted to come. I just want to see where she is. Aparna should be here. She's been hounding me to come. So, what an amazing turnabout yesterday was, with obviously the likes of the Pandya brothers, let's call it.
Yep.
Namely, obviously, Krunal to start with, and is Hardik's not available today as well? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was Krunal who was tested positive first, and then they, I think, did tracking of about 7 or 8 who were in close contact to him, and that's how they have decided on about 9 not available. That's the latest. About 9.
Is that definite?
9. Yeah, that's what I just heard before I got on here, that about 9 players are not available for the rest of the series.
Welcome, Aparna.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Sid.
Hi,
Norman.
Hi.
Hello.
Good to see you.
You look very dressed up. You got nowhere to go. It's lockdown. Have you forgotten?
You have to keep yourself entertained in lockdown, and I've been online shopping. And do you like my earrings?
Actually, you've been
I'm all
sponsored.
dressed up.
You're an ambassador.
No, that's not true. They would like to give me that title, but no, it's not true. I'm just helping a business during this tough time, in this difficult situation, and they are actually really great. So I want all my viewers to go out and have a look. We'll talk about it in a minute, but very excited.
What's the name of the company?
Finally. Sorry?
What's the name of the company?
Mirza.
Okay, we must get that.
We will talk about it
a bit later. Okay,
in the middle,
all right.
to lighten up the mood. But yeah, very excited for the second T20. Finally, it's happening.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the reality of another COVID hit, namely with Krunal Pandya. You said Naresh and Siddharth was talking about that. But Hardik Pandya is out as well. Is that due to the COVID or to something else?
Yeah, in close contact.
Yep.
Close contact.
And that's what I was just completing that, Norman. Only Krunal tested positive. The rest who were in close contact have tested negative, but as per protocol, need to be also isolated. So they're going ahead with that, a 1-week isolation, similar to what happened to the Sri Lanka team before the tour started.
Yep.
That's why there was a rescheduling of 7 days. Yeah.
Huge problems then for Prithvi Shaw and Surya Kumar Yadav. Huge problems. They can't go to England immediately.
So it's both Sky Kumar and also Prithvi Shaw, both of them.
Both.
Both
Yep.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
Prithvi
don't- I
Shaw
don't
and
think that-
Surya
Sorry?
Kumar Yadav as injury replacements for the Test squad, but they are expected to finish the T20 assignment in Sri Lanka before flying out to the UK. I've heard that.
That's correct, but because of the COVID isolation, they're not able to play the last 2 games either. So they're stranded.
Yes,
stranded.
so they would be under 7 days isolation in Sri Lanka, and then probably will be flying directly to UK. But now it all depends on arrival. What is the isolation period for them over there? So maybe a couple of first 2 tests are gone.
No, but Naresh, I think all the restrictions in the UK have been lifted. I don't think there is any kind of isolation or quarantine at this point in time in the UK. It's been lifted.
No, but I don't know how. Yeah. It was supposed to be a bubble-to-bubble movement, and that's why they said about 3 to 4 days, purely because there's a travel from India. But now I don't know what happens when they are already in isolation. Will this 7 days be considered, and then you add another 3-4 days there on arrival? We'll have to wait and watch what happens.
So, but still, they'll be stranded in Sri Lanka for that period of isolation. They can't leave Sri Lanka.
Yep.
Then they can go to England fairly straight away. Now,
you don't know the
Radharani
BCCI. Look, Norman, you don't know the BCCI. They have the power to change world affairs. So they may want them to get back to England and say, look, we are not serving the quarantine. Let us play the first test. That might also happen. Look, the BCCI are like the UN. You have to understand.
I do understand this.
Yeah, they have the veto power. They have the ability to change rules in other countries. They can do that. So this
they're
is
more
nothing.
powerful, cricket board, sports board. I mean, they can, when you've got the money, when you got the power, I think you can change anything. They can one day say there's no COVID.
Yeah, it's all in the head. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I would agree with you said.
Indeed.
So, Aparna, just an aside, I'm expecting earrings as well. I wouldn't mind a pair of those. They look good with my beard too.
I think you should gift it to your mom. She would love
them.
Yes.
Yes. Definitely. So, Premadasa, he has said hello to Aparna, heading out to party. I'm in lockdown. He said hello to
make
Naresh.
party at home.
What about saying hello to me, Premadasa? I want to tell you to say hello to me too. And there's my accountant. He's up there. Anyway. All right. So okay. Because of these players being isolated, Krunal Pandya, Hardik Pandya, and who are the other players?
There is no Prithvi Shaw. There is wait. Let me just see who are. I just had a look. Ishan Kishan is not there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Surya Kumar, Ishan Kishan. So mostly it's the batsmen, and that's what in India would be a little batting weak, though I think the top 5 would still be decently balanced. But post that there would be a problem. Shikhar Dhawan probably would have Padikkal or Ruturaj to partner with.
Yep. Ruturaj will partner him, and Padikkal might be one drop. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's and a particularly strong batting lineup, though.
Yeah, Sanju Samson will be the keeper batsman. He did very well in the last ODI. And then you have Nitish Rana, and I think even Manish Pandey is ruled out. So Nitish Rana at 5.
Manish Pandey is not there. Yep.
Yeah.
So this is what they're saying.
Devdutt Padikkal, Sanju, and I think only Nitish are available. No one else. Ruturaj, only 5.
5 batsmen.
It's Shikhar Dhawan, Devdutt Padikkal, Sanju Samson, Nitish Rana. They're actually saying there's 4.
Oh, so maybe Devdutt's also Ruturaj also COVID. That's why he's been in isolation. Maybe.
No, well, it's going to be interesting. But it is. Rahul Dravid's made a comment. He has said, if you're selected to play for India, whether it's 15 players or 20 players, you should be good enough to play in the 11. And I like that. That's the right attitude to have. In other words, he's giving power and strength to those players that they're up for it.
I think even Rahul Dravid might come out to bat. Let's not rule out. Rahul Dravid should come to bat.
That's so true. I mean, I'll be looking forward for that if Rahul Dravid comes out and bat.
Yep.
I think then definitely this would be like clinical, obvious, probably half over win. We might see 100.
Yeah. I mean,
your sister would be happy too. No, your sister likes game.
She's a fan of Saurav Ganguly, but same era. So
Yeah.
It'll be something exciting, something different
It'll be
for
great. Yeah,
cricket fans out there, especially from my era who's seen.
absolutely.
But let's be really technical now. Is it impossible? Let's just be flippant now and say there was no one but Rahul Dravid there. Because he is coach, could he be able to play in the team? Is it technically possible?
In the worst case situation, you can. I mean, I remember one
BCCI
instance.
could do anything. Sid, stand on your
So
words.
that way you have Murli Karthik doing the commentary.
Yeah, I mean, it happened. Remember, Zimbabwe in the 2003 World Cup, their reserve players and some other the guys got they were injury affected. Alistair Campbell, who was on commentary, he came and batted. It happened in 2003. And
Paras
I
Mamre
think
or new ball bowler.
Paras
I mean-
Mamre, yeah.
It's intriguing because of course we know Bobby Simpson was brought back to be captain of Australia at the age of 40, whatever he was.
41, 1977.
And he was coach in between. He was coaching as well, so it isn't impossible for him to be. It's not impossible. Wouldn't that be one for the books? Wouldn't that be amazing?
India is
I
in a
would
very
love
desperate
that.
position today.
No,
Would
Norman,
agree. They would be like, "Hey, have you got an Indian visa? Can you cricket a bit? Can you bat a bit? Please come and play for us." So Rahul Dravid is one option which is at home. So why not?
Amount of time
I think that make
Jayavardene
the
is
series
spending with
interesting.
Mumbai Indians, probably he can play for India, Jayavardene.
Oh, yeah. Mahela, yes.
Yeah.
Wow,
But,
I'm excited
Norman,
about the thought.
yeah, but this all is concerning, Norman. This has happened in the middle of the tour, where the breach has happened. We face this in IPL with the upcoming World Cup. How these situations will be handled, because okay, this is a bilateral series. What happens in a World Cup like this?
And it's the second consecutive one. West Indies, Australia also, there was a breach.
Yeah, West Indies, Australia, yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
Munchie's
jokes
just said
about
that,
it's a surprise, suspenseful 24 hours since Pandya was tested positive. I agree with you guys. I mean, if it happens in World Cup, you can lose the series. You can most awaited tournament. So I think they should have some backup plans or change the rules a bit that the coach can go and bat, or whoever got the visa and their by citizenship Indian.
Yep.
I don't know how it works.
they literally have to have a standby team now announced every single time they play. Here's the 11, and if the 11 are caught by COVID, here's another 11. They should do that.
I think you have to pick a 30-man squad. A 30-man squad. 15 if in case it happens. Yeah.
Keep it separate. Yeah, keep it separate. Both the teams separately. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, but the latest news is the visitors have, Sri Lankan, Indian have included the, what they call that, net bowlers also in the official. Yes. So
Ishant Porel, Sandeep Warrior, they're all in that now.
But that's the thing. All are bowlers. They're net bowlers. They went there as net bowlers. So that's why the Indian batting is weak.
No batsman.
No batsman.
So Munchie's just written up there that Deepak Chahar, Manish Pandey, the Pandya brothers, Surya Kumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan, he hasn't written are not in the 11. And that includes Prithvi Shaw?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much sure it's Prithvi Shaw. Yep.
Well, that means virtually the whole Indian squad's going to be given an Indian cap this series, correct?
Yes.
That's great.
I don't know how does it help in the momentum. I really don't know how it does. Of course, this is a enforced one. You can't blame them. But the third ODI, I mean, sorry. You just can't give out debutants. And that also means you're not respecting the opponent. Sri Lanka bit you back hard. It's not as if, again, there is a debate going on like Wasim Akram said, who's the genius who's organizing Pakistan's tour to Zimbabwe? I mean, it's disrespectful even to Zimbabwe. It's not their fault that their situation is so bad. Yeah. Australia doesn't want to tour there. England doesn't want to tour there. India doesn't want to tour there. They tour with a C-grade team or a D-grade team. That means you're not taking your opponents lightly. I mean, you don't respect them. Simple.
South Africa I found it, so I was speaking to someone from South Africa today. They have a complete lockdown, the highest level of lockdown. no one's entering or leaving the country, period. It's one of the heaviest rules. That's quite a scary thought, actually. So, okay, we're about another 10 minutes away from the toss and the eventual teams.
Yeah.
Now, what is Arjuna Ranatunga going to say after all of this now? What is his next bright spark comment going to be?
Norman, these kind of setbacks give opportunities. We saw that happen in Gaba. This is happening. And now if this team goes on to win today and tomorrow, what is Arjuna going to say?
I'm excited to see Padikal play. I think he'll give it a good old crack. I think he'll be great. And I've been impressed with Sanju Samson too. He hasn't scored necessarily fast, but he scored solidly, hasn't he? Would you say that? What do you think of Sanju Samson's form?
I think he's waited so long.
Yeah.
6 years. I mean, 6 years. It's not his fault. I mean, his era, his time coincided with the MS Dhoni era. So you couldn't drop Dhoni. Sanju, when he got the opportunities, he didn't capitalize on it. Yeah. Even here, again, you expect so much from Sanju because of his talent, but he doesn't go that distance. So again, you feel it's like, Norman, you waiting for a beautiful, sweet Ben and Jerry's desert, but what you get is all mud.
Oh,
yeah, but
in the last ODI,
Rishabh Pant can be born. I mean, these sort of unlikely situations ever last seen in Australia. I mean, May and Norman was closely working for huge channels like ABP, Sports Talk, and the reaction of people were like, no, we're going to lose this one. We are in a spot that there is no turning around. I mean, India is in a desperate position, which I think India has proven to, turn it around and take that pressure. And actually some star is born like Rishabh Pant. So, Sanju Samson, his turn is around.
Hope so.
Yeah.
The last ODI. Last
Naresh,
ODI we need to give it to him.
Tours, if you have to look at it, no, Naresh, 2 consecutive tours. Our entire bench strength has been tested.
Yes.
Whether it be the B team or the C team, even in Australia, our entire bench strength was tested. Even in Sri Lanka, our entire bench strength has been tested. Like you're saying, the last ODI, Naresh?
He came in when Shaw got out on the first ball. So we need to give him credit. He did well, coming in. Probably he batted as an opener. But 46 odd he got. And that's where what Sid said. It's the consistency, Sanju Samson, sometimes you feel frustrated that he's not being consistent when he gets the opportunity because he's just too good a batsman. When you look at him score, he's just phenomenal. Just like Surya Kumar, the kind of variety of shots and the way he times it, both of them are phenomenal.
But I would add one more point to Naresh. Sanju, if you've looked at in the IPL for the past 2-3 years, he hits 100, he hits 50 in the next 2 games. The remaining 12 games are all flat. That's why it is infuriating that such a talent of Sanju Samson, it's like, come on, you have to maintain that consistency. This is where Surya Kumar has leapfrogged him. His consistency.
Yeah, and he has to learn a lot from Shikhar Dhawan. How much ever you try to rule Shikhar Dhawan out, you cannot ignore him. Last IPL, there was pressure on him. He got a couple of ducks and then he got consecutive hundreds in a T20. You can't, Shikhar Dhawan would always be a debate. You cannot just keep him out of any, discussion of including him in the side. That's how good he has been, all these years.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Shikhar Dhawan figures quite heavily in the T20 squad that plays the World Cup. I think he will be a part of that squad. Don't you think?
But again, where is the place for Dhawan?
Yeah,
in the squad as opposed to the team.
Yeah,
but again, in the squad,
maybe he's a part of the COVID safe plan.
could be, yes.
For World Cup, I feel more or less India has that thing ready. What the team or the squad that played against England in India, more or less it would be the same. So Shikhar Dhawan was part of it, but he played only the first T20. And then Rohit and Virat opened in the last. So he would be around. I don't think as a left-hander he can be ignored as an opener. He would be around in the consideration. So more or less the core of the team is already made up. The management has made up the mind who's going to be in the World Cup squad.
Look, but
though
again,
it has moved out from India to UAE.
But he hit 200s in the UAE, so that's a good thing. But
That's a
again,
good
I will say one more thing. The guy who is responsible for breaking up the India composition and the stability of it is Virat Kohli himself. Why do you want to open? Why? You can be such a great asset at one drop where you averaged close to 60 with a strike rate of 135. Why must you open and absolutely decimate the team composition? I just don't understand. A left hand, right hand in an ICC event, Dhawan and Rohit have delivered the goods every single time.
Yeah.
Why?
Just quickly, Munchie's made some interesting comments. People's attitude to COVID-19 has waned. There is a belief that after vaccination, everyone is protected. We still need to be vigilant. That's a fair point.
Yep.
It makes everything a relaxation. Okay. So Sandeep Sharma, if India goes on to win, Arjun has to leave the country, I guess. Irani says Raj's talking India playing with the J team now. He won't say B team. For true. Okay. So also, and congrats. This is directed to me and my Australia.
Yeah.
6 gold medals, 15 medals all up. India having had 1. But what we've done, I mean, our awesome foursome.
I'm
men's and
wearing
women's
enough gold, Norman. This is another
Oh,
motivation.
you've jumped
We
ship.
have another day.
You've jumped ship. You've jumped ship.
Well, I've always. I'm Indian by heart, by passport, by citizenship, by birth.
Well, don't forget, we are sharing platforms, cricket conversations with the Pakistani. Although you've got something, what have you got written there? Cricket convo? What's that? Is that your new
Yeah, that's short
abbreviation?
form because you usually never let me have my whole name there because it's always so crammed. So I came prepared.
Oh, okay.
Short form, cricket conversation. And for people out there who are not going and subscribing my channel just because it's too long name, just remember cricket convo. Remember this space. Remember Panasani. Just go.
Very Aussie
do
thing,
search
cricket
it.
convo. So Munchie
please
is saying,
subscribe.
Munchie Great Britain not going to do too badly either, but we're beating him, Munchie. We've got more gold medal than you. All right.
Yeah, but even so, back to cricket, I think India would have more chances of winning. Wouldn't you agree, Sid? Because even Sri Lankan, they have been crying for their batting side. I mean, it hasn't been very strong that Indian, even, the bench strength would be tested apparently, but they can come out and probably just wrap this series up by tonight's win, and that would be a bit embarrassing for the Sri Lankan. But hey, we've got 30, 40, as we said, teams available. India, even in Australia, when the Gaba happened, and they've already thought that we have lost this, but hey, they came around and turned it around beautifully. This is another chance before World Cup T20 that we might see some sort of miracle.
Well, it's just been confirmed that Devdutt Padikal, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Chetan Sakaria, and Nitish Rana have all got their T20I caps.
Brilliant.
So they're all, after having got their ODI caps the other day as well. The other thing is that Isham Parel, Sandeep Warrior, Arshdeep Singh, and Asa Kishore and Simranjit Singh have all been included in the touring squad officially.
R.Sai Kishore, Chennai Super Kings. Simranjit Singh, Punjab Kings, and I think he was the guy who took 3 wickets against RCB.
I think Simranjit, the left arm spinner.
The left arm spinner, yeah.
Was it the same guy? I don't remember.
Is it the same guy? That's what I'm wondering. Is it the same guy?
He got Kohli,
Simranjit. Yeah,
Simranjit.
What a list, though. What a list. It's just quite incredible. It's just staggering. But it's happened again. Last in Australia, it was due to, of course, not COVID, but just due to injury and other matters. This time it's COVID. It just seems to be the flavour of the month for India to have all their players getting. It's only good for their long term. Okay, the consistency's not there. You're right, but I think it's still one of those amazing freaks of nature. The whole fact of so many players getting Guernseys for their country.
And I want to add to Aparna's point on whoever plays against India and whichever team of India plays is known that the viewership is maximized. At the same time, they want to do well against India, especially in T20. This amount of eyes the franchisees have on these overseas players also, they need to do well. they want to perform well against India and beat India to come into the eyes of the franchisee cricket going ahead, especially T20. So it's very and I've always been saying this tour is more important to Sri Lanka than India, to be honest, because Sri Lanka has to go through the qualifiers also. They won't be having much of competitive cricket happening after this, and none of their players are in part of the IPL or the rest of the IPL which has been played in UAE. So it's very important. Yes, we can say there's an opportunity for them to make it 2-1, but it's not going to be that easy. These guys, 4-5, guys who are getting the cap today, they have just played very good cricket in the recent IPL itself. Padikkal and Ruturaj were really doing well as openers for their
Absolutely.
respective centres. Yeah.
Oh, look, they're all quality players. They deserve their chances
Yeah.
or the opportunities that happened, not due to anything other than by default. But that's fine.
Yeah, well,
Not an
winding
issue.
it up, I would like to ask everyone in the panel a question. Given the shortage of batsmen available for selection, do you think that India should adapt our gully cricket strategy of sending the lesser batsmen, the tail enders, early to on to strengthen the batting? Or is there any other wacky method for today's situation that might be able to help India to win this second T20?
I think, see, out of the box solutions. I mean, with Dravid, yes, he's a great guy. He's one of the best that we ever had. But I think he will go copybook. I don't think he will go the. But it has happened. Yes, it has happened. Australia did that in 1936. They did that.
Sri Lanka have won the toss
Yeah.
and will bowl.
Ball, yeah.
Oh,
Shikhar Dhawan.
bold.
Again.
It's be a
But yeah,
nail-biting moment.
yeah. Aparna, I think Shikhar Dhawan would have the approach like the first ODI. I think he played more an anchor role, let Prithvi Shaw and Ishan Kishan take the
Yep.
lead in scoring. I think that would be his role. He would go in as an opener to bat 20 overs, not look at
Yeah.
strike rate and runs. Yeah, it will be the others around him who will be scoring.
It's
What do you
it's
think,
going to
Norman?
be. Sorry,
What do you think?
you're talking about the opening position specifically, aren't we? Correct. Well,
No,
definitely,
overall
definitely.
batting
I
lineup.
think Darwin will definitely have the batting. There's no doubt.
We are talking about overall batting. What can India
I
do
think
today for?
Padikkal.
They'll go traditional. They won't break the tradition. They'll
Yeah.
have Shikhar Dhawan up front. They'll have someone like Sanju Samson because he batted at first shot, elevated. I think Padikkal maybe.
I think they may
Right.
go for the left-hand, right-hand combination. So I don't think Devdutt and Shikhar might open. Maybe Rituraj and Shikhar opens. Devdutt, Sanju, Manish. Because Manish Pandey is effective slightly lower down the order. Or if you want Manish Pandey, you can keep him at number 3.
But that's
He's
still
played in that position for.
But that's a very strong batting lineup. That's a very strong. It's not going to be lessened by any stretch of the imagination. It's quite incredible. It's not an issue.
Oh, I'm
at
sorry.
all.
Manish Pandey can't come. He's not available for selection.
He's not available. Nitish Rana, I think, is available.
Yeah, Nitish Rana. Yep, Nitish Rana.
And he certainly deserves his chance too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yep. But then they have got primarily left-handers if you look at it.
Yeah, they
Devdutt,
have.
Shikhar, Nitish, then you've got Sanju and you've got Rituraj. Your 5 batsmen, 3 are left-handers.
But you have to admit, how important is Shikhar Dhawan? Seriously, how important has he been to India, especially now? He's the backbone of all these matches that are occurring. He provides incredible experience, and he's very giving. He's a very giving person. The way he's nurtured Prithvi Shaw has been very impressive indeed. And we've got Shail Manju often makes a lot of comments here. He said, if Sri Lanka cannot beat today's Indian side, they better pack their bags. I'm not sure where they're going to pack their bags to, but okay.
To where exactly?
Yeah.
But down the road.
Australia.
and go
Most of the
to
guys go to
Australia.
Australia.
That's a good point. That's a good point. In fact, Sri Lanka have made it. They've actually made some what appear to be debutants as well in their squad. They've got. Let's have a look. Ramesh Mendes makes his debut, and Sadira Samaravikrama is also in.
Samaravikrama, yeah.
So they've made a few changes.
He did
With
play a
the
couple of ODIs last year, Sadira Samaravikrama.
But Ramesh Mendes is on the boot.
Yeah, upcoming batsman. Good batsman, Ramesh Mendes. He's being touted as one of the middle order bench strengths for India. I mean, for Sri Lanka in the coming years. Ramesh
These guys,
Mendes.
we're going to do a side discussion about the 100 and about Verma playing for one of the 100 sides. Yeah, what's with the Indian captains losing the toss? It's a good point, Parama.
I think it's a ritual. It's a superstition. Every time we lose toss, I think there are more chances of us winning. Just put it that way.
I'm glad that Virat Kohli and Shikhar Dhawan are not the character of Two-Face in Batman. They would have continuously been beaten to death.
No, I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? I don't know. Maybe it's a
I
superstition.
mean, they should keep Aparna. They should keep that rule. Heads I win, tails you lose. In that way,
I'm just trying to work out. There's a few things I'm trying to look at here. Maybe
they lose even though.
I mean, heads I win, tails you lose. How do you lose in that?
So we have Kuldeep Yadav playing in this 11 today.
Whoa! About time.
Wow.
So Kuldeep Yadav, Rahul Chahar, and Varun Chakravarti are the three spinners. And Navdeep Saini and Chetan Sakaria are the seam, and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. So 6 bowlers. So Bhuvi is the number 6 batsman bowler. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Oh my God.
Well, he can bat though. He can bat.
Yeah.
Two leg spinners.
So Shikhar Dhawan with Gaikwad. So Shikhar Dhawan with Gaikwad. Padikkal at first up. Sanju Samson's 4. And Fish Rainer 5. Sorry?
Today's campaign should be Sid, and you would agree, Naresh. Norman would not have no idea if I say this. Sam Dand Beg.
Sam Dam Dand Beg.
So anyone can bat, anyone can bowl.
Anyone can bat, anyone can bowl.
As long as you've got Indian visa, you're in the team. That's the fucking. That's the finish line, and just run. You have to win, right? If you don't want to be on the field playing with that team, the third one, you might as well finish it off. That's it. That would be Rahul Dravid's today's motivational speech in the dressing room. And I hope, fingers crossed, we see something exceptional, and it'll be worth
I know.
sending the B team or whatever the Sri Lankan team has been saying. So, I mean, there is no better answer than this if we win today, because we've lost the toss due to obvious reason. There has been massive changes, some new debutants. We have a thin batting line. Sri Lankan one hasn't been good so far anyway. So let's bring it on.
I'm only worried about those fantasy guy players. I mean, their permutations and combinations of selecting the team would have gone for a toss after this situation. Yeah. And you've got 3 leg spinners if you have to look at it. I mean, Varun Chakravarti is an unknown. He can bowl off spin, he can bowl leg spin. Kuldeep and Rahul, one is left arm, others are right arm. No off spinner.
But they put that person, was it Navdeep Saini? Oh, anyone with the name Saini. Oh, sorry. Didn't say that. Huh? Aparna's not listening, obviously. Aparna's not listening. Aparna. I was just joking. I was just talking about Navdeep Saini. Next to put Aparna Saini in the play. Who knows what's going on?
Man, you know what? Every time he would perform, he's my brother or cousin. But if he doesn't, please do not spam my social media inbox abusing me, because it's out of my control. Seriously,
I mean,
it is.
It's the typical, mentality that's there. If he does well, he has to be your brother or someone. It's a very sick mentality, I'm telling you.
All right, everyone, don't listen.
No, I'm happy to not call him my brother either.
It is. Navdeep Saini is actually.
There you go, Norman.
Sister is Aparna Saini.
Well, it's in our pledge, so we all are brother and sisters.
Oh no!
Here we go.
Yeah, that is the thing I'm trying to avoid. I mean, all Indians are my friends. Keep it simple. Don't complicate relationships.
Then
everybody's a brother or a sister.
I don't want to get religious views in it, but then you can get the Muslim perspective in. All our brothers and sisters, but this doesn't really should be a problem.
No
I don't want to get religious comments in, but you know what? it's made for that purpose. We would see that bit more when the T20 World Cup happens between India and Pakistan. I mean, there's a lot of suspense for tonight's
That's going to be
second
huge.
T20. My God, I can't wait for
No,
India
but
versus
honestly,
Pakistan after the
dispassionately
ODI
have to look at
World
it.
Cup.
If the 90s squad of Pakistan was playing, there would be fever pitch hype. But I don't think that same hype is there anymore, because on all fronts, the Indian team totally overwhelms Pakistan. There's only one Babar Azam. The
Yeah.
Mohammad Amir of 2017 is not
Babar
there anymore. Just Babar Azam
Although
alone
he's
can't do it for India.
Mohammad
for
But I think
Pakistan.
Amir was
I
playing
think
the 100.
they've
He's playing the 100. Isn't he? Mohammad
no idea.
Amir is playing the 100.
Mohammad Amir is playing, but
Yeah, he is.
not
He is.
sure about Babar Azam. Yeah. But
No,
one
Babar
thing
Azam
they've
is the
sorted
West
out the
Indies.
openers. Yeah, they're touring West Indies. But they've sorted their openers for T20 at least. I think the best Rizwan and Babar Azam are opening. That's what they did against England. So if they click, is the only way they can win games. But otherwise, there's not much depth. They have to click like they did in the first T20 against England. They got a 200 odd as a total.
Yeah.
But so
That's what I don't
yeah,
think that, but yeah, they have a chance. I will not rule them out. They somewhere down the line in Pakistan will break that losing streak in an ICC event. It can happen.
Now, Sumit Singh says they should have cancelled the series rather than make India lose. Now,
God.
I mean, I think I was speaking to Debashes yesterday. He was telling me that effectively, if they didn't play these matches by the last matches, which is tomorrow, because we're playing day back to back, aren't we? There's a game on tomorrow as well. They couldn't fit the schedules, wouldn't allow any further time. They may have had to cancel.
Yeah, but that's not good. I mean, that's
No,
not
I guess not.
sportsmanship. So that's why they were prepared. And as Shikhar Dhawan and Rahul Dravid said, that's why we had a big squad. Expecting if this sort of situation happens, but not to that extent, what we have seen. But obviously, I mean, there's still Navdeep Saini and Kuldeep Yadav and Rahul Chait. So, you never know.
Yep.
So
Indeed.
don't curse their decisions.
So it's a good
or
bowling.
anything.
Actually, it's a very good bowling attack. If India can get 150, 160, I think this bowling attack, like in the first T20, they can run through the Sri Lankan side. So very good bowling attack.
How's Kuldeep Yadav feeling? Because he's been brought into this game after, again, a truckload of players are out. What's he feeling? What is he
I think
feeling?
his confidence has been shot to pieces. I mean, not just this series, Norman. If you have to look at it, right from IPL 2020, Biobubble number 1, Australia Tour, Biobubble number 2, India versus England, Biobubble 3, IPL 2021 Biobubble number 4. He has just played 4 games in 9 to 10 months.
How frustrating. How frustrating.
Imagine Kuldeep and Chahal used to bowl in the death overs in 2017 and 18.
Yeah.
After that game against England, Virat Kohli has absolutely lost confidence in this duo. So only Yajuvendra Chahal plays now. Kuldeep just has no chance and not been helped by the idiocracy which the KKR guys do. A left-arm spinner, leg spinner that too. I'm not calling him the Chinaman. Left-arm leg spinner is an asset because he brings the X factor to it. You just don't play him.
It's a very rare skill. Yeah, very rare.
You don't play him. Why? That shows in your bowling stock how depleted KKR have been and what has happened since then. They are not even making it to the knockouts.
Well, I know that he fancies a certain Aparna Saini. I've seen evidence of that firsthand.
Oh.
Sorry?
Drummoyne Oval.
Just please.
Drummoyne Oval, December last year. Drummoyne Oval. You and I were videoing him in the Nets batting, and he came up to me and kept asking me who that girl was, and he was talking about you.
I think you can get in a lot of controversial things that you are attracting, Norman. I don't know what you're trying to do here.
I'm stating fact, though. I'm not doing anything other than stating fact.
Yeah, well, that's true. No, that is absolutely true. But what does that has to do with this? I didn't get. I
I
missed
just
the
thought it
point.
was appropriate to bring it up now. It just fit in nicely. All right, back to cricket conversations with an embarrassed Parnasani.
Oh,
No.
and eyes on cricket with Pokey Norman Kochnak.
All right, now, seriously, the Sri Lankan side, look, they've been pretty admirable in their efforts. They haven't been atrocious, but they haven't been a world top 10 team at that same time, have they, really? Where would you rank Sri Lanka at the moment for, say, T20, honestly, in a ranking of...
Way down, way down.
They're below Bangladesh, I would say.
Yeah.
They would be
Tough,
But
tough
both
to
are
Bangladesh.
going.
separate them
Both
out.
have to go.
Tough to separate
both
both
have
of them
to.
out.
Both have to go through qualifiers for the World Cup. It won't be
Yeah.
surprising if they don't make it. They have Scotland, Ireland, Oman is there at home for the qualifiers. Oman will be all, charged up.
Yeah, they have more chances, I think.
So
Well,
Pakistan
Yellow
is
man.
bowling first. So they have a T20 going on. West Indies, Pakistan. Pakistan is going to
Damn, in
bowl
the
first.
morning. Who plays in the morning in the Caribbean? I mean, come on. Who plays in the morning?
Especially Chris Gale. He doesn't play in the morning, I can tell you. He's playing, but not playing, if you know what I mean. He's doing other playing. So, Angelo
Not
Matthews,
getting there.
Dinesh Chandimal. Is Dinesh Chandimal gone completely? Is Angelo Matthews gone completely? Are they no longer playing in any format? What's the story?
Dinesh Chandimal has joined the army. That shows that the Sri Lankan selectors have absolutely no faith in him. Angelo, I think, is totally fed up with this entire situation. I think he just doesn't want to, because the continuous chopping and changing. He's not been the same ever since being stripped of the captaincy in 2017. After that loss to Zimbabwe, Chandimal is not captaincy material, because in the 2014 World T20, Chandimal was the captain. Sri Lanka kept losing. When Malinga became the captain, they won the tournament. You leave Malinga out, your bowling is gone. There's no Herath. The batting all went in one go. No Mahela, no Sangha. Chandimal's gone. Angelo's gone. Karunaratne is gone. Where are you going to get all those other guys? They're not debutants or anything. They have played massive amounts of international cricket. Where do you fill that hole?
Well, apparently the hearing, the so-called hearing about the issues in England of Dickwella and co. is set down for the next few days. Why is it taking so long to make a decision on this? This is taking forever. And what are they going to make it as a decision? I saw Bipin Danny was someone who I saw wrote an article about that today. He spoke about that the hearings haven't even taken place. Why would it take so long, especially with such things as World Cups coming up? And those three players, despite what they did, are a very important part of the team, aren't they?
I think three factors, if I may, three factors.
Yes.
One, they are probably wanting to ensure that the public and the media are distracted from the series that's going on, number one.
Right.
Number two, they are caught up. The Sri Lankan Cricket Board are caught up between public sentiment and whether you utilize these guys. Because these three guys, they are not first-time transgressors. They have done it repeatedly. Be it Dickwella, be it Gunatilaka, they've done it. Now, do you give them a free, longer rope and say, oh, it's okay, don't do it again? But then what do you do about repeat offenders then? That means Sri Lanka are not...
But do you really think their offences were that serious, these last ones? Were they that serious?
Again, a biobubble breach is a biobubble breach. The rule in that country is that. But
yeah,
yes,
but they needed in these squads. They needed in the World Cup. They needed to play.
But Sri Lanka cricket did not do themselves any good when they allowed Kusal Mendis to walk away scot-free from a hit-and-run incident. The guy died. They didn't set the precedent at that time. Now they are suffering. Even Gunatilaka, we don't know. An assault in a pub is we don't know who's responsible for it. It could have been the players who irked him. But they had a golden opportunity to set a precedent in Kusal Mendis' case. That didn't happen. Now they're debating, should we give him a longer punishment for a biobubble breach, coronavirus biobubble breach? or are they preparing a big quantum of punishment? We don't know. Because the initial reports were these 3 guys would be suspended for 18 months. That was the initial report.
Wow.
It's too harsh. Yeah.
Very
18
harsh.
months. 18
12
months.
to 18 months. Because
That's way
they
too.
didn't adhere to the rule set by Sri Lanka cricket. And it's they're repeat offenders, that's why it's going against them. So it's a code of conduct breach.
Well, we're going to find out very shortly, the next week or so, what's exactly happened to them. I hope for their sake they get to play, because I'm pretty close to Nosh and Dickler. I think very much. I've known him since he was 14. I think a lot of him. I know he's gone off the rails a bit, but at the same time, he's still a great player, and they need him. At the moment, Sri Lanka need all their players on deck, because they're going to have a very lean 5 or 10 years. Very lean 5 or 10 years. And
Even
world
with
cricket.
these guys, I mean, I'm very sorry to dampen the enthusiasm, but with these 3 guys even coming back, Sri Lanka have a massive issue. Because they don't have a talent pool.
They actually, no, you can't be careful. They have, but they're not utilising them. They're not properly. The pathways aren't set properly.
Again,
It's a country
145.
crying out for batting gains. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, Aparna, look at it. 145 provincial teams. 145. For Sri Lanka's size and capacity.
yeah.
It was all the talent. I mean, you're saying it's like a pipe, the bottom is bloated, but it can't go up. How do you do that?
Norman, Pakistan reached England. The England main squad had to go into isolation because of few cases. They had another side ready and they won the ODIs 3-0. India reached Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankan side had to go to isolation because of the coach. I think the first was the coach after landing from England. The tour was deferred by 7 days. This is an example itself how much preparedness is there in Sri Lankan cricket. So there's a lot of questions to be answered.
But okay, the player
I
stocks
think
are not good.
Sri Lanka have a statistical icon hanging over their heads. I mean, they have just won one of their last 14 completed T20s since October 2019. I mean, and the batting performance, oh my God. As I said, they're crying out for batting gains, and they show some sort of, I would say, the bowlers came good in the first T20. And today, even if they couldn't perform in front of what they were crying outclassed as second string Indian team, I think it gives us a very clear answer where they stand and what sort of performance we can expect in the upcoming World Cup.
I mean,
T20.
Norman, again, I'll look upon Aparna's comment, and even Naresh will agree with this. Name a Sri Lankan in this current last 2-3 years. Name one Sri Lankan player who's been in the IPL, in the BBL, in the CPL, in the T20 Blast, or even anywhere. That shows.
Only Tisara Pereira, he
But
floated
he's
around.
retired. Yeah. But even Tisara, even in the Renegades side, in the BBL, did not get a big run. He was in the fringes. The Afghanistan players got more airtime than him, if you have to look at it.
That says
Even
it
in
all,
the-
doesn't it?
Yeah. In the CPL, where are they?
And the best who have played for Sri Lanka are in the IPL's franchisee support squad. Jayawardene,
Yeah.
Sangakkara, Muralidharan. They are part of the support side. They are actually assisting developing the cricket further in India than in their own home. So that's
Because they've given up on their own
why.
home. Sankar is MCC chairman, basically, isn't he, as well?
How many do you know does Sri Lanka have a proper T20 league in place? No, they don't. You've changed your leagues 4 times in the last 6 years.
Yeah.
I think Norman, you have a lot of questions to answer. Say, do you know Norman used to be or still is player manager of a lot of women Sri Lankan
Okay,
players?
but that is women, not men. And I can tell you factually.
Still, we're talking about cricket.
But okay, I'll tell you factually. There's corruption. There's mismanagement. There is fractions or factions within the group. There are like Arjuna can't even enter his own ground. The Sinhalese Sports Club, where he played all of his cricket. He was captain of Sri Lanka. His name's on one of the doors, but he is technically banned from the stadium. That's how bad things are. That shows how deep this problem is. There's an Arjuna camp. There's several other camps. There's probably about 4 or 5 camps. Only one man, Mohan De Silva, is the only man who I believe is the most honest and decent man in that whole brigade, and he's unable to do anything more than what he has. He's tried very hard. He listens. He listened to me on occasion with some of the women's problems and acted. Listened and acted. But he can't be everywhere and everything. They've got real problems.
Yeah. Norman, Aparna and Naresh, before the West Indies tour, you remember, there was one incident. Not much has been written about it since then. Chaminda Was was the bowling coach. 3 days before the side is about to depart for the West Indies, he quits. Money. There is no money in Sri Lanka cricket. Why? None of the players are going to any franchisees. They don't get that 10 or 20% that they get. Only Isuru Udana played in 2020, but how much did he play? Just 2 or 3 games for RCB, that too, and then make it well past the eliminator round. Before they got there, he was gone. Barring Lasith Malinga, not a single Sri Lankan spinner, batsman, or even wicketkeeper. Kusal Pereira has not made an impact. Neither has Mendes.
And Naresh Dickwell genuinely should be there. He is quality. He can play.
There is one reason that Sangakkara said. I heard him. We don't know what is the Sri Lanka schedule in advance. We don't know. So how can the players be made available for the IPL and all? The NOC, Sri Lanka Cricket Dilly Dallies, we can't give the NOC because you have to be ready for that tour. Can you believe it? During the IPL, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka were playing a 2-test series in a worthless ICC World Test Championship cycle series. Worthless. Both were out. And Shakib had to take Bangladesh IPL. I'm not playing the tests, boss. That's the attitude that creeped in at that time.
It is. I thought it was going to get better at certain stages when they did certain changes, but it hasn't. The factions work strongly in and outside of the board.
Yep.
The other major factor is the president of the country. He still gets himself mucked around with it. There are political appointees and Minister of Sports positions that rule over everything. It's a complete and utter disaster.
Technically, Sri Lanka should have been banned because of the government interference.
Correct.
Clear rules in the ICC. You cannot have government interference. That's why Zimbabwe and Nepal got banned. And technically, I am even critical of the ICC as to why are you so pussyfooting even on Pakistan? I'll tell you why. The patron of the PCB, the guy who takes the decision, is the president of Pakistan. That's political interference. I don't know what is political interference in that way. Nothing anti-Pakistani in this. It is a fact. The patron of the PCB is the president of Pakistan. Isn't that government interference? Can you believe if Boris Johnson or even Scott Morrison, he says, I want mostly people from Queensland. Will the Australian public or the people ever listen to that? Never.
He can't even get right the fact about the vaccine, but that's another problem altogether. Look, the reality is that I'm looking at, another interesting point that's been brought up is the Indian team haven't got a true all-rounder playing today. Unless they're calling Bhuvi is the closest.
Yep, that's the only guy all-rounder.
Yeah, we're playing with a long tail, right? He comes in at number 6 to bat, so that's where the tail starts. So.
Hanuman in Sri Lanka, Naresh. Hanuman in Sri Lanka, the long tail that burns Sri Lanka all over again.
Man, there's some in Discovery Channel. If you're saying there's footsteps found of Hanuman J, whatever you want to call. Everyone is symbolized different, right? Maybe he can get this victory for India today. I mean, it would be a huge win. But I think
Ram
before
has to
quickly
help
the match
Sri
starts.
Lanka. Ram has to help Sri Lanka, not India. They need his help more.
Okay,
Well, it's
Mansi,
I think it's getting a bit close now since the changes has occurred due to obvious reasons. But obviously, they definitely need help for the long haul.
Munchie, who's Bozo the Clown or Bojo the Clown? You mean Bozo the Clown? Who are you referring to?
I hope
Well, I
not.
say the
Sri Lanka?
Australians, but no, I think it's probably the Australian comment about our Olympics.
Well,
The fact that we've got
quickly,
6
let's do
diamonds.
a match prediction before the match starts. What do you think, Sid? And then we move to Naresh, and then Norman, and I'll be the last. Who do you think will win and why?
I mean, India, again, this Sri Lankan side has just forgotten how to win. Simple. That one game had 7, 8 debutants. India, they just threw it away. They gave it to them to a platter. I don't think they'll make the mistake this time around. India will go ahead with their 11 best players that they have. They've all got IPL experience. That gives them the X factor. So, India for me.
What about
Yeah,
you, Naresh?
Ruturaj on strike. Yeah. Yeah, 93 for 3 and then 126 odd, something all out in the first T20. Yes, I agree with Sid. It's the experience and that firepower for one person to take them till the end to win the game. I think that is what Sri Lanka is lacking currently. I still feel India 160, 165, similar to the first game. India is winning this game.
What do you think, Norman?
Looking at the Indian batting lineup, and I don't have
Come
to
on,
go
you gotta come
past.
Sri Lanka because there's 2 Indians going for India, obviously,
I'll
and I'm the
support Sri
third one,
Lanka
so you might
because
as well.
I'll support Sri Lanka even though they've got no hope. Sri Lanka.
Why?
Why? Well, because
Because they've got no hope.
who knows? Sometimes when you least expect it, a team comes out and wins. Sri Lanka had some pretty close calls in the earlier matches, but I'm saying Sri Lanka because you're saying I should, partner, so I'll say Sri Lanka. But it
No,
won't
no,
be
I'm not
easy
saying
for
that.
it.
That's no. Don't play this diplomatic turnaround trick. Come on,
I'll
your
go
go.
for Sri Lanka. I'll go for Sri Lanka because I feel sorry for them.
Okay,
Wish
well
them
that's fair go. All right, we'll get
Roshan
that.
Singer was in hospital. We should say best wishes to Roshan Singer. He was in hospital, so one of
Yeah,
their
you
best
say get well
commentators.
soon. You don't go and lie with them. That's that level of support that you're giving. I mean, you feel sorry for
I
them.
feel sorry
but
for Sri Lanka because they're going through
being a
turmoil.
cricket expert, Norman, come on, fair.
Well, I'm first of all saying I feel sorry for Sri Lanka. I hope they win. But India, even their top 4 or 5 batters are good enough. They won't need their tail. They've got some incredible, and the likes of Padikkal and Gaikwad, they're going to be out there to really show, aren't they? I'm expecting Padikkal to go crazy. It's a big opportunity for him. Shikhar Dhawan's still there. India are batting first. They're going to score a big score and make it very difficult for Sri Lanka. But let's see.
Well, fair call. I think India too. I mean, the Shikhar Dhawan's still there, so let's not forget that. Also, Bhuvneshwar Kumar. I mean, he has been a silent performer for India at the highest level. That's what I would say. In the ODI series, I mean, he was amongst the wickets, and he carried out from the T20 as well in the previous match. So I think there's still hopes, and I've seen Gaba very closely, so I'm very excited. I'm actually looking forward for something like that. I mean, a big score, India win, and we get some new players like Rishabh Pant who can actually change and make the team selectors think about the T20 World Cup selection again. You never know. Something like that level of performance or something that level of game would be very much exciting to watch tonight because it's another opportunity.
Well, Shikhar Dhawan's already scored a 4 in the first over. He's now that scores about 8 runs. Yeah. Look, well said, Aparna. Look, I'd like to know, and Siddharth or Naresh or any of us, we need to work out how many players have been given caps in the last 12 months for India, in all codes, in all types. Must be over 20.
Yeah, must be.
Got to.
Yeah.
Probably starting
I mean,
from Gaba. Yeah, starting
Natrajan,
from
Washington Sundar, Akshar Patel in the tests in England against England 3.
Natarajan.
Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar Yadav 5.
Krunal Pandya got in
Krunal
ODIs against
Pandya,
England.
yes, 6. Then Rituraj, Devdutt in this 8.
Yeah, Krishnappa Gautam,
Nitesh.
Krishnappa Gautam, the 6th in
Chetan
the
Sakaya,
third ODI, so 14.
Yeah.
Varun Chakravarti,
He's-
third time he's been successful now
I
after
know,
3
third time
attempts.
lucky, 15. Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yes,
Rahul
20, close
Chahar,
to 15, 20. Rahul Chahar, yeah. Then who
Been a
else?
great year.
Oh boy.
It's
I
quite
mean,
amazing. It's probably a lot more we're forgetting,
Prithvi Shaw
actually. There's
made a
probably quite a
debut
few.
in T20, right? Prithvi Shaw made a debut in T20, the last game.
oh yeah, he did.
Sanju Samson made a debut, I think.
Yep.
Yep.
I think in
Yeah,
ODI he
he
made a
did
debut.
too. He did, yeah.
Yep. Oh boy. 17.
I think the list
And
was
we
long.
probably missed a few, actually. We probably missed a few.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Who else? Krishna.
Sky Kuma
That
you
was,
included that. You include Sky
Against
Kuma?
England, I think Prasidh Krishna made debut in ODIs
yeah,
against England.
Prasid. Yes. 18. Prasid Krishna. Yep.
Siraj?
Yes. Melbourne, MCG. 19.
Shardul Thakur. Shardul Thakur
Shardul,
Gaba.
20. Yep. There you go.
That was
Shardul.
Amazing.
No, but
20.
Shardul didn't make his debut in Brisbane. He had already played one test against the West Indies
Yes.
in
But he played an
Hyderabad.
over. No, but he only played a few balls. He didn't
Yeah,
play
he got
much.
injured. Yeah.
Got injured in the match. He
Yeah.
barely played.
3-4
So you
balls.
wouldn't count that. So I
but
Norman,
it
I'm
was
still
counted as a
waiting for
record.
your cap. These guys are getting caps. I'm waiting for your cap.
Oh, it's coming. Now, I also have these caps too. Did you give me the
Oh,
address,
that's a good
Suraj?
one.
Yeah, I did send you. Yeah.
Okay, I need to check. I've got them. Is that this one?
What about Marvin Norman? I just live across the
Oh,
bridge.
God. Well, you could just go, you could knock on my door one day and get it.
Well, we are in lockdown, but yeah, you can try not to
You like
go
that?
far away so you can cross the harbour bridge.
Okay. Naresh, it's going out to you, okay? Siddhartha's sending it out to you at a part, okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
Well, guys, if it
And this
doesn't
one
come to me, he's full of false promises.
That's not true. I've got a whole
Anyway,
box
I
load
mean,
of
just a little banter between
Look at
Norman
this.
always.
Do you want? Okay. Who wants this cap?
He's got both.
Are you asking the
New
audience?
Zealand
And
New
Come on,
Zealand
Pete.
Yeah, I
and
would
black-
love this. The black
yeah,
caps.
that-
Oh, it's got an
Yeah,
India.
this is good.
it's blue.
Yeah.
It's blue.
Yeah, I like
It is
blue is
blue.
better than the white. Yeah,
And it's actually ICC.
World Test Championship final. Yeah,
It was supposed to be there for June 18th. It came July 22nd, but it's not. Anyway.
All
All right,
right.
so-
I think Norman, we should wrap this up because everyone has to go and watch the match.
True.
I'm definitely.
All right. It was good to see you all, guys. We'll have another
Thanks, Tom.
probably on the same time tomorrow because
Yep.
the third match will take place.
Yeah.
Long live India. They've done well with a great group of players yet again. Thanks,
If,
Aparna.
if
from
India wins
cricket.
today, you'll see more debutants tomorrow, more caps tomorrow.
Who's left? Who's left?
Those net bowlers, probably a couple of them may get in a game. Ashdeep Singh, Pural is there. He's done
Ishan
well.
Porel,
domestically.
yeah, Ishan Porel.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll give them a go?
Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah.
It's like everybody in this team will get a chance. It's a great time to be an Indian cricket guy at this point in time. You're not just carrying the drinks, you'll get a chance to play.
Even a guy with Indian visa, as I said, right now in Sri Lanka, who know how to bat, most welcome.
Yeah. They should have been in Australia. I mean, Norman, you could have gone at the Gabba and got the Indian batsman out.
If I had gone there, my wobblers would have taken several dismissals. I would have had Washington Sundar on the back foot. But the trick about my bowling is I don't wait for the batsman to look up. He's hitting the pitch with his bat and looks up. The ball's on him. That's my trick. All right, just to let you know. All right. Aparna Saini with Cricket Conversations. Thank you. Would you like to send us off with a?
Yes, thank you guys. And about my beautiful jewelry, it's from the brand Marie's. They're handcrafted jewelry. I'm supporting a small business in this tough time. It's a global brand for women fashion jewelry. So all the viewers, hubbies, go make your wives happy. Like I have made myself happy by done this shopping, and you should go and grab a set for your mom, Norman, and say hi to her for me. And you guys as well. Plus, do go and check their website. It's Mauriz, MARIZ, right? So
Okay.
yeah, and
Spell
a
it again.
code. I
How's it
can give you a
spelled?
code
MA?
for some great deals, which I'll leave in the comments for all our V's. And fingers crossed, hopefully India wins. And we will see you guys tomorrow. So this is me signing off. Host and co-host of Norman Kochnak of Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnak, and this is a collaboration with Cricket Conversation with Aparna Seni. And we had lovely people in our panel today, which is Sid, thank you, and
Thank you.
Resh.
Thank you,
Always a
Aparna.
pleasure to have some Indian side against Norman. No, just joking.
Thanks, Aparna. Thanks a lot. It's been wonderful
Thank
to have you
you.
on. But definitely
you.
send those details for the links, okay?
Yeah, sure.
One more time, how do you spell it? M-A?
MARIZ. So Maurice.
Maurice.
Yeah, I'll leave in the comment.
Okay. All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
All right, Siddharth.
Thank
Thanks,
you, Norman.
Daresh.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Norman.
Bye.
Ciao,
Bye,
ciao.
Sid.
Ciao, ciao. Ciao,
Bye.
ciao. Ciao,
See
ciao.
you. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
All the best, guys. See you guys.
Yeah. See you,
See you,
Norman.
Sid.
Bye.
See you, Sid. And that was wonderful to have Aparna Sani with Cricket Conversations with Aparna Sani, as well as obviously Siddharth, Vishwanathan, and Mahesh. He's another great person to have on the show. We're very lucky to have these people. They do a lot of great work for me, and they very much give their time. So thanks again, guys. So just to let you know, Sri Lanka have won the toss and have put India into bat. The likes of so many player changes, it's just not funny. We almost can't keep track of all the players that have actually gone. Naresh was very good at what he said, so was Siddharth. But yeah, India's team have had several changes from. I'll just go through it just to finish. Let's be sure we have that written down. Let me have a look at the commentary here. Let's have a look here. A number of changes we've had. Of course, the Indian side was Shikhar Dhawan, captain. Rituraj Gaikwad is the other opening batsman. Devdutt Padikkal. Sanju Samson, the wicketkeeper. Nitish Rana at number 5. Bhuvneshwar, as in Bhuvi. Kumar at 6. 7, Kuldeep Yadav, another chance for him. Rahul Shah, Navdeep Saini, the faster bowlers. And you've got, actually, Chahar's actually there. Chetan Sakaria, and of course, Varun Chakravarti. Sri Lanka had the 2 changes as well. So you think of India's favour once again. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be on tomorrow. Munchie, thanks for your time, everyone on there. It's been great. I think it's always wonderful to have the group. Thoughts on Hardik Pandya's performance? Injuries, probably more than anything else. My favourite Indian batsman in terms of potential and style can improve his middle game. That's true. Very, very true. All right, we're just going to tidy up that. Let's look at the. Okay. Again, stay tuned, guys. Please make sure you do come to the broadcast. It's now 12:30 at night here in Australia. The game's 12:43, in fact. And we'll go from there and we'll talk more as the game progresses, okay? All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for your time. Stay tuned. We'll see each other tomorrow. Bye.